All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we got ourselves another video reaction that we want to go over today, and this one has to do with your good old best pal, David Jaffe. Now, obviously, David Jaffe has been the subject of conversation, especially recently, because he decided to go after some YouTubers, myself pretty much included, and he definitely wanted to target Vera Dark because he thinks that she's only successful because of the way she looks, obviously. You know, this is a man who tries to, tout himself as a progressive, and yet will completely throw all that under the bus once his envy just takes over him, because we all know that this entire tirade that he's going on, this absolute melty melt that he's going on right now, is simply because he's so envious of the success of other YouTubers that he doesn't have, even though he is the creator of God of War and Twisted Metal, which should be all the success that he should ever need. But no, he wants to be the popular YouTuber.
I'm so popular. Everybody loves me so much.
So we have a video here from David Jaffe with a headline that reads, Elon Musk punches down at Avowed developers. So apparently he goes on a bit of a melty melt regarding Avowed, and I figured, why not? Let's have a look and see what he has to say to see if maybe we agree, disagree, or we can find a middle ground in terms of what he's trying to say about Avowed and the developers. So of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. If I sound weird, I apologize. It's because I am still sick, but the work must go on. Let's press play. Let's see what we got.
Andrew Cannon says, would you give your take on the Avowed situation? The fact that somewhere GRUMMZ, who wakes up every morning like a fucking pig sniffing around on the ground looking for fucking...
All right, so right off the bat, just FYI, right off the bat, okay? I don't know what it is about GRUMMZ and Vera Dark that David Jaffe has a hard-on for, but he has a hard-on for them, okay? Especially GRUMMZ. GRUMMZ is that one particular person that he has a hard-on for, and let's be real, it's not even just David Jaffe. A lot of people have a hard-on for GRUMMZ, and I get it. I understand why to some extent, but he is just out here trying to pretend to be morally superior while also doing certain things that make him seem obviously unhinged. You know what I mean? Like, you clearly don't like GRUMMZ, and that's okay, but maybe you shouldn't be so heavy-handed about it, because then what that ends up doing is make people realize that, oh wow, a lot of your complaints actually just come from a place of envy. That's really what it is. You are envious of the success of GRUMMZ, you're envious of the success of people like Vera Dark, and you try to find out any excuse you possibly can to try to devalue their arguments without actually facing their arguments or facing them in conversation. But let's continue.
Truffles is like, what can I complain about today? The rent's coming due. Time to complain. What's on the...
Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. The people like David Jaffe, they want to make it seem as if talking about the bad things that are happening in the industry is suddenly just waking up wanting to complain. Whereas you, somebody who wants to wake up and pretend like everything is fine in the world, you want to be surrounded by fire. You are literally the meme dog. You want to be surrounded by fire and be like, yep, this is fine. People like you are totally okay. But other people who call out the nonsense that are happening in the gaming industry, they're the problem. Yeah, it sounds like you want to benefit from a level of toxic positivity that was rampant in the industry and is rampant to this day in the industry. You want to continue to benefit from that, and unfortunately for you, those dirty YouTube grifters are out here exposing for it all for the bullshit that it is.
Internet. So yeah, in his mud digging, GRUMMZ finds this information about the game Avowed, and he tweets out this image. I don't even know if you're choosing pronouns or not that it matters to me, but he's like, look, there's pronouns in Avowed. And he went off, and then Elon Musk saw the tweet, and then Elon Musk...
Just so you're aware, the reason why pronouns are an issue is because the pronouns are usually a stepping stone to what is for sure 95% of the time going to be an ideologically based game that is going to be complete garbage because it was an ideologically based game. There are some studios out there, not many, but there are some out there that have proven that they're able to do some of the progressive politics while also providing a game that is exceptional in both quality, storytelling, and overall character design. Baldur's Gate 3 is a prime example of that, where it does have ideology in it. That's absolutely true. There are woke elements to Baldur's Gate 3. There's absolutely true. But there are also non-woke elements to Baldur's Gate 3 as well that make the game substantially better compared to its supposed competition, Dragon Age to Veilguard. If you look at Veilguard versus Baldur's Gate 3, you're going to see see glaring examples of the differences between what's actually good presentation and good writing and what's garbage. This is why Veilguard is getting all the hate and Baldur's Gate 3 gets a pass from a lot of people.
Elon Musk. What up? I mean, look, my brain can compartmentalize Elon Musk. Okay, he may very well be a traitor to the United States.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man! Here we go. Here we go with the Russia. Can you stop watching CNN just for once? ABC, MSNBC, all this. Like, can you stop for a second? Even Fox News. Can you stop and just think for yourself for even 5 seconds?
He's not a good human.
So my son Xavier is dead, killed by the woke mind virus.
And I don't.
He's not a good human because he is hurt physically, mentally, and emotionally over the fact that he feels like he lost his son to the progressive politics and the progressive mindset where his son ended up. It's amazing how you and Elon Musk have so much in common, and yet you are on two completely different sides. Elon Musk and you both have a trans child, one of which has a trans child by choice, and the other has a trans child because he feels like the state made his child trans. He took it away from him, right? Being where he is and whatnot, and he is hurting over that. And you are trying to downplay that hurt. You are trying to downplay that feeling as a father where you feel like your son is dead. You lost your son because of what happened. You know what I mean? And you think that he's a horrible human for that, where there is plenty of people out there that will think you're a horrible human for enabling the mental illness of your child, or to be more truthful, enabling the desperate need for attention that your child has, that they're joining the fad of trans, and you being a mentally ill adult are deciding to enable that instead of trying to help them or say, hey, maybe this is not the best course of action for you to take until you're a little bit older, where you can understand the decisions that you're about to make for the rest of your life. You don't have that power. You don't have the willpower. You don't have the mental capacity in order to do it. And you are, in fact, a mental lightweight in that regard. But let's continue.
I don't think he's as smart as a lot of you guys give him credit for, but I think he's a really good investor with his money.
I don't think you're as smart as you try to give yourself credit for, but who's counting?
And I think those investments are just crazy enough to change the world if they'll work, and some of them are, and that I give him props for. But anyway, Elon Musk is tweeting.
He is a madman, and sometimes it takes a madman with a lot of money to make valuable change. Look what happened with X. Look what happened with the elections. It's a good thing.
We did this out, and it got traction, and then it pissed off one of the art directors and the community manager of the game Avowed. And all I can tell you is, if you're the guys at Avowed and you're getting, pushback without any data, I mean, think about this for a minute. You're Elon Musk. You are the richest man in the world. You have the ear of the president-elect coming in. According to the FBI, you have spoken with Putin about 8 times, private phone calls in the last year, and you are pushing back on a tweet from a guy who has been known to promote false documents regarding things like Mr. Matty Plays, and you are pushing back as the loudest voice on the forum that you own.
So you're talking about the document regarding Matty Plays and the NDA that he openly admitted was a mistake. He was wrong and he took it down and wrote essentially an apology for? Like that's more than the mainstream news ever does about the multitude of things they get wrong on a daily basis. So why exactly are you going after GRUMMZ for something that all other industry professionals do and don't even bother writing apologies for? Don't even bother redacting information for? What are you know what I mean? Like, this is very clearly a targeted thing, and I don't know where it's coming from, and I can only assume, again, this is my assumption, I can only assume it's coming from a place of envy, because if you're mad at him for doing that, and yet you are utilizing MSNBC, ABC, and CNN articles and still shots in your videos that you use when you edit them, those corporations do the same exact thing too, all the time, if not worse, more so on a daily basis, every single day. So why target one person and not look at the sources that you yourself are utilizing? It's because you've been taught that that is the mainstream, that is the establishment, and that is who you have to listen to. That's what you've been taught. So you follow that through and through because you are a good NPC. But then you get mad at other people that aren't NPCs like you. It's ridiculous, in my opinion.
On a group of developers that are just trying to, not only just developers, but renowned, beloved developers who have made some of the best RPGs ever. And they're just trying to work. And they're
not just trying to work, because these motherfuckers are out here on Twitter attacking everybody on a daily basis. There is tweets that are popping up from years ago. So they've been doing this for a while, even before the GRUMMZ tweet, even before the Elon Musk retweet. They've been doing this for a while, bro. And yes, they do have RPGs that are beloved. Don't get me wrong, obviously. But so did BioWare. Who cares, right? So did BioWare. So did Blizzard, right? Blizzard had a bunch of games that were beloved. So did them. So did Bethesda when they first started making, like, all these companies have games that they are known for, of course, obviously, but that doesn't absolve them of the bullshit that they're doing now. It doesn't absolve them of the ideology that they're trying to push now. And you could try to make it seem like a thing where they're, oh, just innocent developers trying to do a job, but they're not. They're very clearly not. They're out here acting like fucking ratchet idiots, and they don't know how to shut the hell up. The art director is a prime example of that. Perhaps if you want to sell your game to the most amount of customers, maybe don't make it a divisive game. A famous quote from Michael Jordan, Republicans buy shoes too. Why would you want to be divisive?
Suddenly aim one of the world's biggest spotlights on them for what? Well, you don't really know, do you, Elon? Because you don't know how the pronouns are even presented in that game. You don't even understand what the context is.
It doesn't matter. There is no context for pronouns. The moment you have pronouns as titles, it is very clear that it's coming from a modern day ideology. There is no context needed for that. Otherwise, it would not be there to begin with. Pronouns as English language descriptors, that's always been a thing. Pronouns as titles, that is a modern day thing. That is a progressive thing. That is something that you guys are trying to make real, and you're trying to gaslight people into thinking it was always there when it never was. Nobody ever would go around using pronouns as a title. Nobody would say, yeah, I'm a she, her. That's a title. That's not something that people do. That's something they started doing now because everybody wants to feel special, because being gay just isn't enough. Being trans now just isn't enough. Now you got to keep adding to it in order to keep one-upping it, in order to get that special attention that most of the people doing this are craving. That's really what it is. It's special attention that you're craving. It's not about gender dysphoria. It's not about any of that shit. It's about all attention seeking. Social media has exacerbated this through and through for years now.
But the very nature of having pronouns, not that it would matter, by the way, not that it should matter, but just the very nature of seeing a pronoun.
It should matter. It absolutely should matter. Because if you see pronouns, guess what? You saw a roach, right? You saw a roach in your house. After you kill that roach, do you think that, oh, good, I killed the roach, there's no more roaches? Do you think that? Or do you think, shit, I killed the roach, that means there's got to be more? There's got to be like 20 more somewhere, clearly. I gotta go get some bait or something, you know what I mean? Nobody kills one roach and thinks that's the end of it. It's the same thing with pronouns. You see pronouns in the game, okay. What does that tell you? There's other roaches. There's got to be other roaches, most likely. The 1% chance that there isn't more roaches, you get Baldur's Gate 3. Seriously.
From a guy who has doctored, or not doctored, but promoted false doctored documents in the past.
So did CNN, so did MSNBC, and so did ABC. And you used all their still shots in your video. So that means that you are promoting companies that promote false documents and false information all the time.
Is enough for Elon to tweet it out to the entire world. I think we should all, whether or not you agree politically or
I mean, you're taking all the articles from CNN and promoting it out to the world, and they've been known to push false information. So what exactly are you doing here now?
Or morally or whatever with pronouns or not, I think we should all kind of be on the side of Avowed and the developers, not because you agree with them, but because what kind of horse shit Mickey Mouse bully tactics is that Elon's doing? It's like, dude, shut up. Do you not have enough attention?
Are you seriously trying to be one to talk about bully tactics when you're out here trying to attack women who are content creators that are more successful than you in the YouTube space, and you're mad at them and you try to say the only reason that is because of the way they look? Are you really out here talking about bullying tactics right now when you employ bullying tactics all the time, when your particular side of the ideology spectrum employs bullying tactics all the time, where they try to do cancel campaigns, deplatform campaigns, demonetization campaigns? Really? You serious right now?
You want to talk about crazy? Richest man in the world. And he's upset. I mean, what a mental fucked up human. And he's upset because...
Look, again, like I told you guys earlier in the video, and I said in a previous video, what David Jaffe does is he tries to take your argument and devalue it. He doesn't try to combat it. He doesn't try to use his own argument to try to, take superiority over yours. He takes your argument and tries to devalue it. He just did it right here with Elon Musk. He said Elon Musk the richest man in the world. He said that first so that anything else that follows should be devalued, because for some reason, if you are the richest man in the world, that means that your opinion shouldn't matter in gaming. That means you shouldn't be allowed to talk about anything wrong in gaming because you're the richest man in the world and you don't have any problems. At least that's what he thinks anyway. You don't have any problems. You don't have any issues. Seriously? That's where we're at right now? It's ridiculous.
What? Some video game that maybe he wasn't even going to play? Pronoun. You guys.
Maybe he was going to play it. He plays Diablo 4 all the time.
You can hate the pronouns, but talk about bootlicking. Arguably one of the most powerful people on the planet, and you're siding with this guy for bullying a bunch of developers that have done nothing in their lives but made games that most people love?
Oh, shut the fuck up with your gaslight. They've done nothing in their lives. They're totally innocent. Yeah, they're totally innocent, but they got tweets for the last few years attacking people for having differences of opinions politically and ideologically. Get out of here, man. You are such a goddamn gaslighter. It's hilarious at the end of the day, and it's very clear that you will have one particular side. And even if you are wrong, or even if people tell you and inform you, hey, you're wrong, you don't want to sit there and admit that because you think that you are the smartest man in the room. You think that because whatever reason that you cannot be wrong. It's so unbelievably stupid, and it's very clear that nothing is ever going to change your mind regarding that, which is fine. At the end of the day, I don't expect to change your mind, but again, we're just going tit for tat here in terms of what he's saying and what actually is happening on screen. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.